I'm here for a hidden purpose, really. This is about clean energy. And I've been trying to hint with David how clean the energy is when you push your wheelchair. Get an idea about that and spread it so that we really will have a society with clean energy. But anyway, on a more serious note, I've given many oaths in my time as a judge over the 37 years that I sat, but this night is very extra, very special because of you, David. I've only known you for a few years, not as long as Russ and Troy, but I've been so truly impressed with everything you do and are doing and what you stand for. You're truly dedicated to the mission of clean energy for all Californians, and you do this as a public servant, and you do it as a parent, looking out for the future for all of us. You're ideally suited to this appointment, given your demonstrated work on clean energy, and you've spoken powerfully and you've spoken inspirationally throughout the state and throughout the country, and indeed throughout the world, about the need to combat climate change and the promise of a clean energy for the future. And Governor Newsom, with this appointment, has shown his wisdom and his commitment to the goal of making California the model in energy conservation and innovation. Your appointment further demonstrates that he is serious about policy implementation and enforcement. Securing the future of our great state's natural resources is at stake here, and I can think of no one better equipped to take on that challenge and ensuring that our future generations enjoy the beauty and the grandeur of our state. You're doing a marvelous job, and I just can't say enough about you as a leader for this important issue. And with that, would you raise your right hand? And repeat these words after me. I, and state your name,
I, David Hochschild,
do solemnly swear
that
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Constitution of the State of California.
and the Constitution of the State of California.
I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter. Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. So before you return your seats, we have a little presentation for you, and I want to turn it over to Bella Quinto-Collins, if you would.
Thank you. I actually wrote a little something to prepare. Just a moment. It's been a little while, but I'm really honored to be able to speak with you and Uncle David here today. Just a little bit of background, we're family friends of Uncle David. But yes, I have a little something. So in December of 2020, my brother Angelo Quinto, whom I called Angelo, was asphyxiated to death by Antioch police officers during a mental health crisis. He posed no threat, was not under the influence of any common substances of abuse, had no weapons, and he was not violent. In fact, officers restrained him for at least 4.5 minutes after he was already unresponsive. The last words I remember him saying were, "Please don't kill me, please don't kill me." And the next few days were some of the worst of our lives. My mom had watched my brother die in front of her. I had seen him turn blue, and we were witnessing the beginnings of a cover-up. We weren't sure what to do or what we could do, but Uncle David was there for us, steadfast and incensed by this unimaginable injustice. And one of his first acts of compassion and kindness, some words I think are showing up a lot tonight, included connecting us with the Honorable Judge Sultan Henderson and esteemed Professor Troy Dester. These are people who, in the face of injustice, take a stand and won't allow truth to be silenced. People who may not have known us, but who were willing to help us move forward in what would become a lifelong journey towards positive change in Angelo's name. These are people with tremendous strength of character. They graciously advised us and helped us figure out our next steps, and with their support we were able to get through a time of incredible confusion and despair. A time wherein not only the police department, but also many hospital staff would treat us as if we had no rights. And because of them, we felt empowered to pursue positive change. Because of the advice, encouragement, and aid of people like them, we've been able to fuel purpose with our pain. We've been able to help pass policy reform in the city of Antioch, for which we also have the determination of Mayor Lamar Hernandez Thorpe to thank, in the City Council, and led by another champion, the extraordinary Assemblymember Mike Gibson, as well as with impactful support from organizations like Physicians for Human Rights. We've been able to make changes to state law that will help prevent what happened to my brother and family from happening to others. So today, we're here to recognize Uncle David, a beacon of hope, driven by the incredible people who inspire him, of course, up here and all around, as he moves forward in his role as chair of his commission with passion and innovation. We're proud to support him as he has us, and wish him nothing but success and happiness. So thank you for the opportunity to share some of your collective impact, and congratulations.
All right. Well, thank you for that. I wanted to, if I could, just recognize we have a few extraordinary people in the room that I wanted to hear. Did you need a hand? Okay, yeah. If I could, Bella just mentioned Mayor Lamar Thorpe of the city of Antioch, who I believe has accomplished more for justice and police reform than any other mayor in the United States. We want to thank you. Can you please stand up? Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. We have a couple other amazing people in the room I just wanted to welcome. First and foremost, our incredible Lieutenant Governor, champion for clean energy, Eleni Kounalakis is here. to hear more from her in a minute. My longtime friend and colleague, Phil Ting, Assemblyman Phil Ting of San Francisco is here. And the author of the very first 100% clean energy law in the United States, Senator Chris Lee of Hawaii, is here. If you have used a state park in the last few years, you know what an incredible jewel that whole system is for our state. We have Armando Quintana, the Director of State Parks. Thank you so much. And helping us with forward-thinking planning is Sam Asefa, the Director of the Office of Planning and Research. Thank you, Sam. And then I just wanted to ask if I could have all of our family, my parents, my brother, the Lee and Leong family, stand up so we can just recognize you. Sharon, Edie, Mark, Doris, Tim, Mary. Thank you, guys. Okay, so I want to do a sort of aerial tour of our work and a little bit some of my story and how we got into this. And it goes back for me to 2001. I was working for Mayor Willie Brown in San Francisco. A lot of you guys have heard my favorite story about the mayor. He's the only mayor of a major American city who had his phone number publicly listed in the white pages. And my brother Seth Stewart's over here, worked with me in City Hall. This woman calls him at 3 in the morning to say, hey, my street light is out, Mr. Mayor, you got to get this fixed. So he writes down the information, gets it fixed. The next morning, sets his alarm for 3 in the morning, calls her back and says it's fixed. So 2001, Seth and I were here in City Hall, lights are going out, and businesses are shutting down, banks are shutting down. Grocery stores, first time we've had these outages. Nobody knew what was going on. We now know that was market manipulation from Enron and others like that. And it created this crisis, really. And of course, the Chinese word for crisis is Weiji. It's 2 other words put together, danger and opportunity. There's always opportunity inside a crisis. And so my dear friend and longtime colleague, Adam Browning, is over there, who we teamed up with then member of the San Francisco Board of Supervisors, Mark Leno, and we did a $100 million bond initiative to pay for solar and other clean energy on public buildings. And so this is us about 20 pounds ago. Vote solar. And that measure passed by 73% in November 2001. Adam and I went on to co-found the Vote Solar Initiative, which is now run by Sachu right here. Raise your hand, Sach. It's an incredible group. I think about 50 staff working in 25 states fighting for energy equity, for 100% clean energy policies. Adam came up with this great line, which I think we did for the New York campaign. When there's a huge solar energy spill, it's called a nice day. So then Mayor Gavin Newsom was super helpful and supportive of that. His father was actually the treasurer on that campaign. And we did a number of projects, including, this is Rosa, my eldest, with me years ago. This is, in fact, Reverend Sally Bingham, who's here. Where is Reverend Bingham? There she is. So this is Grace Cathedral, which she helped facilitate solar in Grace Cathedral for that project. And then we had Dr. Espinola Jackson. So we were, at that point, the mayor had put me on the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission, and we had a dogfight over this issue of building a dirty power plant in the Bayview Hunters Point, okay? And so Espinola Jackson, we worked with her, and work with her is the wrong term, worked for her is actually what happened. So she was a force of nature, and Josh Arce, where's Josh? Yes, this man was the principal advocate. And we had 2 big fights. One was to stop this polluting power plant from getting built, and the other is to create a solar program. And in my entire 25 years in energy, I've been in a lot of fights. To this day, nothing was as hard as those 2. And it really was Espinola Jackson's spirit. And she had a thing she would say when she's starting to get revved up, Josh. What did she say?
All right now.
All right now. And so I still hear her, and I still hear that voice in my head to this day. And I'd like to ask her family, who's here, to all stand up so we can thank you.
So that power plant got defeated. The solar program got created. Janine Cotter is here. Where's Janine? Yes. So this woman is amazing. She started Luminalt Solar. They are hiring people who need a second chance in life, and she's been putting solar all over the Bay Area. And we want to thank you, Janine, for making it happen. So around that time, I started to learn more about the Energy Commission, and I was just really amazed that this institution existed. I was able to meet with the founder of the Energy Commission, Charlie Warren, who's no longer with us, but was really a brave legislator. He had a vision for creating an agency with enough authority to actually implement big, bold things, and started off in the 50 years ago. We had the authority to do standards for efficiency for things like refrigerators, and this is how when this is the first appliance we regulated. The refrigerators industry said, if you regulate us, we're gonna leave the state. This was energy use in refrigerators. We did the regulation. Energy use plummeted. At the same time, the price of the refrigerators went down, the size of the refrigerators went up, and this is the model. And then we have, nested within our agency the authority to do things like mandate solar on roofs, which my fellow commissioner, Andrew McAllister, made happen. He made it happen. Every new home, every new building. And now we're focused on getting the state to 100% clean energy. We're on the precipice of getting to 2/3 clean energy in the next year or so. And this is really amazing because actually alternative energy is the wrong word to use to describe renewables in California. We're driving it mainstream. And the great California clean energy experiment has to succeed. We are the engine. We are the engine for the world of this, and we are making it happen. One of the priorities as we push forward is to do focus work with tribes. So the Energy Commission has now done clean energy microgrids with 9 different tribes in California. This is the first one we did with Janet Gagnon from the Blue Lake Rancheria tribe. We made this happen. And we were able to adopt a tribal energy sovereignty resolution to support the right of tribes to determine their energy future. And I just want to share 2 quick stories from what is, I think, incredibly inspiring work the tribes in California are leading. The first is the Klamath River restoration, which to my knowledge is the largest dam removal project in the world. It's happening this year. Dams are coming down, the salmon run's being restored, led by the Yurok and others. Let's give that a round of applause. And the second is the story of the California condor, which is an incredible story. So this is the largest bird in the state, 9.5-foot wingspan. It lives to 75 years old. And because of lead bullets, years ago, this bird went extinct basically in this region. And there was a very focused and successful effort to restore it. And for the Yurok people, this is a sacred bird because it's the highest flying bird, so it's thought to, with that perspective, confer wisdom to the people, and then in turn to be the medium for humanity's hopes to go to the heavens. And just a few years ago, they reintroduced condor for the first time in this community. So incredible, incredible, inspiring story. So a lot of our work now at the Energy Commission is really, as we get to 100% clean energy, is getting off polluting diesel and gas and fossil fuels and electrifying everything. And that is happening. We hit 25% of new vehicle sales being electric last year, up from 8% when Gavin Newsom started as governor. We're electrifying ferries. Is Lauren Galarte here somewhere? There she is. Okay, this is a woman who's going to make it happen in the Bay, going to all electric ferries. We just approved a grant last week, $30 million for a factory to build electric school buses. It'll make 4,000 school buses a year. We have electric semis now operating, I think 36 of them in California, 520-mile range vehicles, and we just took delivery in San Diego of the very first electric tugboat in the world. So it's happening, and we need to accelerate it. And a lot of that is driven by Gavin Newsom as governor. He signed this incredible executive order in the middle of the worst fires to mandate 100% of new vehicle sales be electric by 2035. And it's happening. So I mentioned some of the semi-trucks. We're also seeing, with Commissioner McAllister's help, the all-electric home. And that is a movement away from natural gas. And then, of course, rail is happening as well. This year, we're converting from diesel to electric for Caltrain. So I love this Chinese proverb: the people who say it can't be done should get out of the way the people are doing it, because California is making it happen. I should have mentioned my colleague and friend, Commissioner Patty Monahan, doing an amazing job on the charging side. In charge. We're going to put in 1 million chargers. We're spending $4 billion on that, and she's making it happen. But we're also leading the way on energy storage. So a lot of what we need to do ultimately is retire dirty, polluting power plants, and 40% of that gas fleet today is in low-income and disadvantaged communities. Things like this will help. So we're home to the world's largest battery storage project in Moss Landing. We're home to the world's largest geothermal power plant, and we're scaling that here in California, and the world's largest solar rooftop. That's the Apple headquarters. And then going even further upstream, an effort that Commissioner Nomi Gallardo is leading is this vision for Lithium Valley, to do green lithium production in California and have it be done the right way, which is with community engagement, with funds that go to support infrastructure, schools, jobs, roads, and so forth. And that is well underway. And then that will supply lithium for batteries for all the electrification that we're doing. We're also working on offshore wind. So our peak load is 52 gigawatts. We're going to do 25 gigawatts of offshore wind. Clean power, it's going to help us retire those polluting plants. And as we do this, one of the narratives we have to push back on is somehow that this is bad for the economy. So just worth remembering that 10 years ago, we were the 10th largest economy in the world. Then we passed Russia, Italy, India, Brazil, France, and now we're the 5th largest economy in the world. So I think this story needs to get out there that this is actually good for our state, for our society, and we gotta be sure to tell that. There we go. Okay, so I want to close with some trees. I always find wisdom in trees. And in the course of this job, I've had a chance to travel quite a bit around the state, and I realized we're home to the oldest tree in the world, the Methuselah tree, almost 5,000 years old. We're home to the tallest tree in the world, the Hyperion tree, and we're home to the largest tree in the world, which is in Sequoia National Park. And the girls and Cynthia and I went there, I don't know, maybe 5-6 years ago, and we got to just observe this tree. And right under the tree, there are all these cones. They're about the size of an egg. And you open up the cone and you see the seed that this tree comes from, and it's the size of a grain of rice. And I was very moved by that something so big starts so small. And that is how I think we need to think about what we're doing together in this state. It can grow, and it's powerful. And our job, the theme that's been on my mind, is the energy transition is well underway. Our job now is to finish the job, and let's build a sustainable future, an equitable future for all. Thank you guys so much.